Think back to 1975, while everyone was dancing to Love Will Keep Us Together and singing along to Bohemian Rhapsody, dozens of other incredible songs were climbing the charts. Songs that had their moment in the sun, but somehow slipped through the cracks of music history. Here are 15 forgotten hits from 1975 you must hear again. Number 15, Only Yesterday by the Carpenters.
Baby, baby, feels like baby.
The Carpenters reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 with this gorgeous ballad that showcased everything that made Karen and Richard's collaboration so special. Karen's vocals had never sounded more vulnerable or more beautiful, while Richard's arrangement created the perfect emotional backdrop.
Baby, baby, your love's baby, freezes.
Written by Richard Carpenter and John Bettis, the song dealt with the pain of lost love without wallowing in self-pity. Karen's delivery was so honest, so direct, that listeners felt like she was singing directly to them. The production was typically immaculate, with every instrument serving the song's emotional core.
I found my home here in your arms.
What made Only Yesterday stand out was its maturity. The Carpenters had moved beyond their earlier, more innocent image to tackle deeper emotional territory. The song's structure was sophisticated, building from intimate verses to a soaring chorus that never felt forced or overdone. Recording at A&M Studios in Hollywood, the siblings crafted one of their most enduring songs. The track featured Richard's signature piano work and Karen's drumming, though by this point, she was focusing primarily on vocals. The whole production had that warm, enveloping sound that made Carpenter's records feel like musical comfort food. The song's success proved that there was still room for genuine emotion in mid-70s pop music, even as disco was beginning to dominate the airwaves. Number 14, Black Friday by Steely Dan.
When Black Friday comes, stand up.
Steely Dan's Black Friday never became a major hit, but it perfectly captured the band's unique blend of jazz sophistication and rock energy. Walter Becker and Donald Fagen were exploring darker themes with their usual musical precision, creating something that was both accessible and challenging.
When Black Friday falls, you know it's got to be.
The song appeared on their Katie Lead album, recorded at various studios in New York and Los Angeles. The track featured some of the most complex arrangements Steely Dan had attempted up to that point, with multiple layers of guitars, keyboards, and horns, creating a dense but never cluttered sound. What made Black Friday special was how it combined Steely Dan's trademark cynicism with genuine musical beauty. The chord progressions were intricate, the lyrics were cryptic but emotionally resonant, and the performance was flawless. Chuck Rainey's bass work was particularly impressive, providing both rhythmic foundation and melodic interest. The song showcased Steely Dan's perfectionist approach to recording. They would spend months getting every detail exactly right, working with top session musicians to achieve their vision. The result was music that revealed new layers with each listening. Black Friday represented Steely Dan at their most accessible, while maintaining all the complexity that made them unique among 70s rock bands. Number 13, Times of Your Life by Paul Anka.
Morning, yesterday.
Paul Anka made a remarkable comeback in 1975 with Times of Your Life, a song that became both a hit single and the soundtrack to one of television's most memorable commercials. The track reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that Anka's songwriting skills had only improved with time.
The good times and the bad you've seen, and all.
Originally written for a Kodak commercial, the song transcended its advertising origins to become a genuine standard. Anka's performance was understated and elegant, letting the song's message about cherishing memories speak for itself. The arrangement was sophisticated, but never overwhelming.
Remember, will you remember?
What made the song work was its universal theme. Everyone could relate to the idea of looking back on special moments, of wanting to hold on to time as it slips away. Anka wrote from the heart, creating something that felt both personal and universally applicable.
Times of your life.
Recording in Los Angeles, Anka worked with top session musicians to create a sound that was both contemporary and timeless. The production had that mid-70s polish, while maintaining the intimacy that made the song so effective. The success of Times of Your Life reminded everyone that Paul Anka was far more than a teen idol from the 50s. He had evolved into a mature songwriter capable of creating music that resonated across generations.
Do you remember the times of your life?
Number 12, Jackie Blue by Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
Lives her life from inside of a room.
The Ozark Mountain Daredevils created one of 1975's most distinctive sounds with Jackie Blue, a song that combined country rock with psychedelic elements in a way that shouldn't have worked, but absolutely did. The track reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving the Missouri band their biggest hit.
Ooh, Jackie Blue.
Written by Larry Lee and Steve Cash, the song had an otherworldly quality that set it apart from typical country rock. The vocals were dreamy and mysterious, while the instrumentation created an atmosphere that was both familiar and strange.
Ooh, Jackie, you're going again.
What made Jackie Blue special was its unique sonic landscape. The band used harmonicas, fiddles, and various percussion instruments to create something that sounded like it could have been recorded in the Ozark Mountains themselves. The production, handled by Glyn Johns, captured both the band's rustic charm and their experimental edge.
Every day in your indigo eyes.
The song's success was partly due to its mysterious quality. Listeners weren't quite sure what Jackie Blue was about, but the emotional impact was undeniable. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils had created something genuinely original, in an era when originality was becoming increasingly rare. Recording at Olympic Studios in London, the band worked with one of rock's most respected producers to create their masterpiece. The result was a song that still sounds unlike anything else from the 70s.
Ooh, Jackie, hey.
Number 11, Fallen in Love by Hamilton, Joe Frank and Reynolds.
Baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love.
This trio created one of 1975's most perfect pop songs with Fallen in Love, a track that reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and showcased the power of great harmonies and simple, honest songwriting. Dan Hamilton, Joe Frank Corallo, and Tommy Reynolds had found their perfect formula.
Baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love.
The song was written by Dan Hamilton, who understood that the best love songs don't try to be complicated. Fallen in Love was direct and sincere, with harmonies that made even the simplest phrases feel magical. The arrangement was clean and uncluttered, letting the vocals carry the emotional weight.
It seems like yesterday, you and I first loved.
What made the song work was its authenticity. Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds weren't trying to be anyone else. They were simply making the kind of music they loved. Their harmonies were tight and precise. Their performance was relaxed and confident.
Strong and bold as life unfolds. Mystery.
Recording in Los Angeles, the trio worked with producer Steve Barry to create something that felt both contemporary and timeless. The production had that mid-70s sheen, while maintaining the intimate quality that made their harmonies so effective. The success of Fallen in Love proved that there was still room for straightforward pop music in an increasingly complex musical landscape. Sometimes the simplest approach is the most powerful.
Baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love.
Number 10, Could It Be Magic by Barry Manilow.
Spirit move me every time I'm near.
Barry Manilow's Could It Be Magic demonstrated his sophisticated approach to pop songwriting, building on a Chopin prelude to create something entirely new. The song reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, establishing Manilow as a major force in 70s pop music.
Could this be the magic at last?
Co-written with Adrienne Anderson, the song showcased Manilow's classical training and his understanding of pop dynamics. The track built slowly from intimate verses to a powerful, orchestrated climax that never felt overwrought. Manilow's vocals were passionate but controlled, serving the song rather than showing off.
High up where the stallion meets the sun.
What made Could It Be Magic special was its ambition. Manilow wasn't content to write simple pop songs. He wanted to create something that worked on multiple levels. The classical foundation gave the song gravitas, while the pop arrangement made it accessible to radio listeners.
Could this be the magic at last?
Recording in New York, Manilow worked with arranger Artie Schruck to create a sound that was both lush and intimate. The production featured a full orchestra, but every instrument served the song's emotional arc. The result was pop music that didn't apologize for being sophisticated. The song's success helped establish Manilow as one of the 70s most important pop songwriters, proving that intelligence and accessibility could coexist in popular music.
Could it be magic? Oh, come on.
Number 9. Please Mr. Please by Olivia Newton-John.
In the corner of the bar there stands a jukebox.
Olivia Newton-John had one of her biggest hits with Please Mr. Please, a song that reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and showcased her ability to make even the most dramatic lyrics feel sincere and relatable. Her performance was both vulnerable and strong, creating the perfect emotional balance.
Please, Mr. Please, don't play me.
Written by John Rostel and Bruce Welch of The Shadows, the song told the story of someone asking a jukebox operator not to play a particular song because it brings back painful memories. The concept could have been overly sentimental, but Newton-John's delivery made it feel genuine.
It was our song, it was his song, but it's mine.
What made the song work was Newton-John's ability to find the universal truth in specific situations. Everyone could relate to having a song that brought back difficult memories, to wanting to avoid certain emotional triggers. Her vocals were clear and direct, never manipulative.
Please, Mr. Please, don't play me.
Recording in Los Angeles, Newton-John worked with producer John Farrar to create a sound that was both contemporary and timeless. The arrangement was sophisticated, but never overwhelming, with every element serving the song's emotional core. The success of Please Mr. Please helped establish Newton-John as one of the 70s most reliable hitmakers, someone who could take any material and make it her own through sheer force of personality and vocal skill.
I don't ever wanna hear that song again.
Number 8. Midnight Blue by Melissa Manchester.
Whatever it is, it'll keep till the...
Melissa Manchester created one of 1975's most sophisticated pop songs with Midnight Blue, a track that reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 and showcased her remarkable vocal range and emotional depth. The song was jazz-influenced without being inaccessible, pop without being simple.
Midnight blue.
Co-written with Carol Bayer-Sager, the song explored themes of loneliness and longing with unusual maturity. Manchester's vocals were technically impressive, but never showy, serving the song's emotional content rather than displaying virtuosity for its own sake.
One more time for all the old.
What made Midnight Blue special was its musical sophistication. The chord progressions were complex, the melody was challenging, and the arrangement featured subtle jazz influences. Yet everything was in service of the song's emotional truth.
I think we can make it. Oh.
Recording in Los Angeles, Manchester worked with producer Vinnie Poncia to create a sound that was both lush and intimate. The production featured strings and horns, but every element was carefully placed to support Manchester's vocals and the song's mood. The song's success helped establish Manchester as one of the 70s most accomplished singer-songwriters, someone who could handle complex material with grace and intelligence.
Looks like we're gonna make it.
Number 7. Lovin' You by Minnie Riperton.
Loving you is easy.
Minnie Riperton's Lovin' You became one of 1975's most distinctive hits, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and showcasing her incredible 5-octave vocal range. The song was intimate and personal, featuring her famous whistle register in a way that never felt like showing off. Written by Riperton and her husband Richard Rudolph, the song was originally intended as a lullaby for their daughter Maya. The personal connection showed in every note, making even the most virtuosic passages feel emotionally honest. Riperton's performance was both technically amazing and deeply moving. What made Lovin' You special was its simplicity. Despite Riperton's incredible vocal abilities, the song never felt complicated or overwrought. The arrangement was minimal, focusing attention on her voice and the song's gentle message of love and devotion.
Loving you, I see you.
Recording in Los Angeles, Riperton worked with producer Stevie Wonder to create something that felt both polished and intimate. The production was sparse, with just enough instrumentation to support Riperton's vocals without getting in the way. The song's success introduced mainstream audiences to one of popular music's most gifted vocalists, someone who could make the impossible sound effortless and natural. Number 6. Feel Like Makin' Love by Bad Company.
Baby, when I think about you.
Bad Company delivered one of 1975's most powerful rock anthems with Feel Like Makin' Love, a song that reached number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and perfectly captured the band's blend of blues rock power and pop sensibility. Paul Rodgers' vocals were both passionate and controlled, while the band's performance was tight and energetic. Written by Paul Rodgers and Mick Ralphs, the song combined straightforward rock structure with sophisticated musical elements. The guitar work was both powerful and melodic. The rhythm section was rock solid, and the overall arrangement was both anthemic and intimate. What made Feel Like Makin' Love work was its emotional honesty. Bad Company wasn't trying to be clever or ironic. They were simply expressing genuine feelings through powerful rock music. The song's directness was its strength. Recording at Headley Grange, the same remote mansion where Led Zeppelin had recorded Led Zeppelin 4, Bad Company captured both power and atmosphere. The production, handled by Ron Nevison, was both punchy and spacious, giving each instrument room to breathe. The song's success helped establish Bad Company as one of the 70s most important rock bands, proving that straightforward rock music could still find an audience in an increasingly diverse musical landscape. Number 5. Thank God I'm a Country Boy by John Denver. John Denver had one of his biggest hits with Thank God I'm a Country Boy, a song that reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and perfectly captured his celebration of simple pleasures and rural values. The track was energetic and joyful, featuring Denver's warm vocals and spirited fiddle work.
When the work's all done and the sunset low, pull out the fiddle and the rosin up.
Written by John Martin Summers, the song became Denver's signature tune even though he didn't write it. His performance was so enthusiastic and genuine that listeners assumed it came from personal experience. Denver's ability to make any song feel autobiographical was one of his greatest strengths. What made the song work was its infectious energy. The arrangement was built around fiddle and banjo, creating a sound that was both traditional and contemporary. Denver's vocals were clear and direct, conveying pure joy in the simple act of being alive. Recording in Los Angeles, Denver worked with producer Milt Oken to create something that sounded both polished and authentic. The production captured the energy of Denver's live performances, while maintaining the clarity needed for radio play. The song's success proved that there was still room for optimism and simplicity in 70s popular music, even as many artists were exploring darker or more complex themes.
Woo! Thank God I'm a country boy, yeah!
Number 4. Before the Next Teardrop Falls by Freddie Fender.
If he brings you happiness.
Freddie Fender made one of 1975's most remarkable comebacks with Before the Next Teardrop Falls, a bilingual ballad that reached number 1 on both the pop and country charts. The song showcased Fender's ability to cross cultural and musical boundaries with grace and authenticity.
Before the next teardrop falls.
Originally recorded in the 1960s, the song found new life in Fender's hands. His performance was both passionate and restrained, switching seamlessly between English and Spanish lyrics. The emotional impact was undeniable, regardless of which language listeners understood.
Si te quiere de verdad.
What made the song special was Fender's personal connection to the material. As a Chicano artist, he brought authentic cultural perspective to music that bridged different worlds. His vocals were technically impressive, but never showy, serving the song's emotional content.
I'll be there anytime.
Recording in New Orleans, Fender worked with producer Huey P. Moe to create a sound that honored both country and Tex-Mex traditions. The production was clean and uncluttered, focusing attention on Fender's vocals and the song's cross-cultural message. The song's success opened doors for other Latino artists in mainstream country and pop music, proving that authentic cultural expression could find widespread acceptance.
And I'll be there before the next.
Number 3. Poetry Man by Phoebe Snow.
'Cause your eyes, they light the night, they look.
Phoebe Snow burst onto the music scene with Poetry Man, a jazz-influenced song that reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and showcased her remarkable vocal ability and sophisticated musical taste. The track was unlike anything else on radio at the time.
You're the poetry man. You make things alright.
Snow wrote the song about a street musician she had encountered, but it became something larger, a celebration of artistic authenticity and creative expression. Her vocals were technically stunning, but never cold, combining jazz sophistication with genuine emotion.
All I ask for is your smile each time I rub.
What made Poetry Man special was its musical complexity. The song featured intricate chord progressions, unusual time signatures, and sophisticated arrangements that challenged radio listeners while remaining accessible. Snow's performance made even the most complex passages feel natural.
Talk to me some more. You don't have.
Recording in New York, Snow worked with producer Dino Erali to create something that honored both jazz and pop traditions. The production was clean and spacious, giving Snow's vocals room to soar while maintaining the intimacy that made the song so effective. The song's success proved that there was still room for musical sophistication in popular music, introducing mainstream audiences to an artist who refused to compromise her artistic vision. Number 2. Rhinestone Cowboy by Glen Campbell.
I've been walking these streets so long.
Glen Campbell had one of his biggest hits with Rhinestone Cowboy, a song that reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and perfectly captured the dreams and struggles of aspiring entertainers. Campbell's performance was both optimistic and realistic, creating the perfect emotional balance.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Written by Larry Weiss, the song dealt with the gap between dreams and reality without becoming cynical. Campbell's vocals were clear and expressive, conveying both hope and determination. The arrangement was sophisticated but never overwhelming, with every element serving the song's message.
Riding out on a horse in a star-spangled road.
What made Rhinestone Cowboy work was its universal theme. Everyone could relate to having big dreams and facing obstacles, to the struggle between aspiration and reality. Campbell's performance made even the most specific details feel universally applicable.
I really don't mind the rain and the
Recording in Los Angeles, Campbell worked with producer Dennis Lambert to create a sound that was both contemporary and timeless. The production featured strings and horns, but every element was carefully placed to support Campbell's vocals and the song's narrative. The song's success proved that country-influenced pop music could still find mainstream acceptance, establishing Campbell as one of the 70s most versatile entertainers.
like a rhinestone cowboy.
Number 1. Mandy by Barry Manilow.
Well, you came and you gave. Well,
Barry Manilow closed out 1974 and entered 1975 with Mandy, a song that reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and established him as a major force in popular music. The track showcased his ability to take simple material and transform it through sheer emotional commitment.
but I sent you away, oh man.
Originally titled Brandy and recorded by Scott English, the song found new life in Manilow's hands. His performance was passionate but controlled, building from intimate verses to a powerful, emotional climax. The arrangement was sophisticated but never overwhelming.
You kissed me and stopped me from shaking.
What made Mandy work was Manilow's complete commitment to the song's emotional content. He wasn't holding anything back, but he never crossed the line into melodrama. His vocals served the song's message rather than showcasing his technical abilities.
And I need you today, oh man.
Recording in New York, Manilow worked with producer Ron Dante to create something that was both lush and intimate. The production featured strings and background vocals, but every element was in service of the song's emotional arc. The success of Mandy launched Manilow's career as one of the 70s most successful pop artists, proving that sincerity and sophistication could coexist in popular music.
You came and you gave without taking.
These 15 songs represent the incredible diversity of 1975's music scene. From the sophisticated pop of Barry Manilow and Melissa Manchester, to the country rock of John Denver and Glenn Campbell, from the jazz-influenced vocals of Phoebe Snow, to the straightforward rock of Bad Company, the year offered something for every musical taste. What united all these artists was their commitment to authentic expression. Whether they were exploring complex emotions, celebrating simple pleasures, or bridging cultural divides, each performer brought genuine passion to their work. They weren't following formulas or chasing trends. They were making the music they believed in. 1975 proved that popular music could be both commercially successful and artistically satisfying. These songs found massive audiences without compromising their artistic integrity, showing that listeners were hungry for authentic expression in all its forms. The year's musical diversity reflected America's cultural complexity during the mid-70s. Different regions, different backgrounds, and different musical traditions all found representation on the pop charts, creating a musical landscape that was richer and more varied than ever before. If you enjoyed rediscovering these forgotten hits from 1975, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more musical treasures from the past. There are countless great songs waiting to be remembered, and we'll keep bringing them back into the light. What other years should we explore together? Let us know in the comments below.